Great. We are. All right. So we are back again for another offering for Internet Partner Violence Awareness Month. And I am super blessed and thankful to have the Order of Paladins here with us to welcome back Danielle Ellis for your offering. So welcome back, Danielle. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
coming.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here. Hopefully, I have a good contribution today.
Absolutely, I am certain you will. So, in between last year and now, what's going on? What's new with you?
What's new with me? Oh my gosh. You know, it's in small steps as everybody have experienced such dramatic changes in their lives. Some people remain somewhat the same. But honestly, everybody been touched by the recent events, and so what's new with me is that one, I maintained, and then I changed my life according to the situation and what I wanted. As far as I changed careers, I've changed um, how I work, like I work from home instead of in a building. I really prioritize things so I can, you know, last year gave me time to say, what is the priority for me? And this year is acting out that priority, basically.
Love it. I love it. Amen. Amen. So, let's see. Anything coming up that you want us to like hold space for, send some prayers for?
No. And I'm happy with that. I used to have such a crazy schedule before lockdown. And I am happily have nothing really planned to mention at this moment. I'm happy about that.
Love it. Love it. All right. So, go ahead and give us what you brought for us today. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Today's sermon is titled "Letting Go." When Phoenix came to me to say, "Do you want to do anything?" and what's the title of um, your talk, and it came to me to say "Letting Go" because we're still in this situation of when we're in this fear, when we're in fear, we hold on, we hold tight. We hold tight. And sometimes we hold on to things that are absolutely not working for us, poisonous, that is really killing our system, stressing us out, and just eating us up. So, with all that happened and what is happening individually in our lives, it's time to let go. And even personally, I found that letting go um, lifted the weight off my shoulder and gave me ease. And I was able to go with the flow. I'm more like water instead of being like a rock. You know what I mean? So it's more emotion now. It's calmness emotion. So that's where I'm coming from with my talk today. And excuse me, I'm going to be reading from a few things. And I want to start off. Oh, I do hoodoo. I'm a Bible worker. And so some of my texts, and mainly most of my texts today, will come from the Bible, actually. So you would draw from it the way you want to draw from it. I'm not Christian, but I keep it simple by saying I do hoodoo. I don't tell everything. But I will draw from the first verse would be from Ecclesiastes 3 and 6. A time to search and a time to give up, a time to keep and a time to throw away. You may experience this when lockdown happened. Um, all everything just fell. What you were used to, your routines, the distractions, everything that you ran to this that fell off, and you had to sit with yourselves. A lot of people had to sit with themselves. And for some, it was wonderful, and it was destructive in some ways for some people, but in the same way, it was destructive in a positive way for some people. And because then we had time to sit with themselves, even if you're an essential worker or not. You when you're faced with um, some such uncertainty, I would say, and you're pushed to be in your home or pushed to be away from others in the way you're used to, it really makes you think. It really makes you think. And some people found themselves in quarantine, the ones that had to stay home. I wasn't one of them. They had to, they found themselves cleaning up. They found themselves cleaning up. And even as a essential worker, as I was, not only I was cleaning up, I wasn't able to clean up like people was just all in their homes, decluttering and everything like that. It made me clean up my life. When the lockdown happened, my full schedule went empty. And first I was frustrated, but then I didn't care. I didn't care. And I was like, I had to really face myself to realize I was tired. And I was holding on to this need for validation, outside validation. And I kept going out, 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 out. Yes, I was accomplishing things, but I was exhausted. I was exhausted. I didn't have enough time for me. I don't know if I had enough time for my family. I was always running. And who was I proving myself to, actually? You know what I mean? That is the question. So there's a time to search for self, and this is one of those times. It's time to give up the old you. This is one of those times. Those preconceived notions you had, what you thought was expected of you, what people put on you to be. It's time to let that go. Give it up, because it wasn't meeting your needs. It wasn't balanced. It wasn't, you were not going to bed satisfied. You know what I mean? And it's a time to keep. We found ourselves, some of, not, I'm not talking about poisonous keep. I'm talking about, because some people found themselves hoarding. But when you start being your own storehouse, when you start taking care of your core, taking care of your home, taking care of your well-being, because I don't care where you go, you have somewhere to go to. And most likely it's home, and you have to take care of home. And there are some things you have to keep, and then there's a time to throw away. You throw away that's not working. You throw away things that are not working. And this is where it gets scary, because there's a meme out there and things that says, or they attribute it to Buddha, or but internet. I did not research this, but I kept this in thought, was sometimes the pain is holding on to instead of letting go. And I know that from a fact, for different things that happened in my life. I was holding on, really holding on, causing myself suffering. But letting go was frightening. I was scared of what it was to let go. And a lot of times when we keep things, keep these standards, keep these ideas, um, like um, like when I came out, you know, what was it for people to see me as this? Will they accept me? Was it better just to stay in the closet and hold on, or was it better to come out? And I had to really look at what it was, um, to step out, let go of those fears of maintaining what was acceptable, and start accepting myself. And what was that meaning? I had to let go of those thoughts and fears, those and I had a lot of fear. Um, and I was scared to step forward as well. So it was very interesting to um, live in that way, to move forward. So let me look at my notes. And what's funny, also Philippians 4:6 says, "Do not be anxious about anything." And that is hilarious coming from a person that deals with anxiety. So do not be anxious. It's twofold. You could be just nervous about everything, right? Or you're so wanting to hurry up and get it and do that you're just flopping over yourselves. You missing all the steps to get to that thing. It's like, for example, you could say you've been riding the bus all this time and you say, "I want a car." And you jump in all the stuff, you get a car. But did you get um did you factor in all the things that go with having a car? Um, your license is there, but you have to drive it. You have to maintain it, make sure the oil's in, the gas in, insurance, all this stuff. You have to do that. And all you thought was car. You did not prepare for all the steps that was there to do that. That's you find that sometimes in the spiritual community, even in the church, where somebody, excuse me, um, we see in this example. I'm gonna give you this example. They come before the altar. They accept God in their life. They full of spirit, sanctified, and all of a sudden, I'm gonna be a pastor. And they didn't do anything. They didn't what? You didn't do anything. You didn't take time to learn. You didn't take time to prepare. You didn't get time to settle in yourself and in your walk. And that's one of the things that we're talking about in here is letting go, and the fear that keeps us holding on is too much. It causes us to hoard. We try to hold on to who we were. We try to hold on to things that says to other who we want them to perceive us to be. And honey, it gets to this point that you have to let go. And I will speak to you as someone who had COVID for a month. I had a COVID for a month. So did my daughter. So I was not able to rest in healing myself. I had to function as a mother. So that was a challenge for me. That was a challenge for me. And so I had to do what I had to do to make sure she lives and everything. I wasn't given and I'm sorry if this is rambling. I wasn't given the privilege that some people have these days of being admitted in the hospital or hospitalized. And granted, um, blessings to ancestors and the gods, we weren't as bad off to be admitted, but we weren't sent home with anything. We weren't sent home with anything, no guidance or anything. And I remember as we was riding home from the hospital, how this thing I know of people personally who've been put under medicated comas under this, all put in ventilators, all this stuff. Some made it, some have not. So I'm faced with this thing, and I'm faced with my child with this thing. And I remember riding home from the hospital, how the details and how vivid colors were, how the many details that um you think sometimes people say you think of the big things when you're dealing with illness, um and you're not, you think of you see the small things. It's the small things, the little details, how the wind blows in a flag. um you're thinking you're gonna may pass away. So you notice grass. I paid attention to grass. I paid attention to everything. But one thing I found myself is I was in silence. For the first time, I was able to fully rest. Um, and it's strange to have an illness cause you to fully rest. I had to sit with myself. This was what everybody else was experiencing, but now I had to sit with myself and make sure we're breathing. And the vital way of constantly going. And one of the things I noticed that exasperated things was stress. Um, Stressing out during while you're dealing with it just makes everything rise up. And I decided not to be stressed anymore from there. I decided from then and there, I'm not going to be stressed anymore. That caused me to change my jobs. And, having that separation had you to see how people care about you. And I had a great community caring about me. And I also saw the people that that was around my workforce did not care so much. So not that I have to be super valuable to coworkers who are really daily, everyday strangers in my life, but I had to really think what is best for me and what is best for my child. And that's why um you don't hear that I have anything coming up. I don't have anything coming up. My schedule, except for a few things, is clear. And I'm okay with that. I'm not in any shows or anything that's coming up, and I am okay with that. I had to look at my vision. I had this time to look at my vision and say, how can I work this out for me? And honestly, when you're making big changes, you have to just step out there, and it's not what it looks like. Things are not always what it looks like. There are opportunities. There is a way to do when you step out in faith. And I know we hear that and it sounds corny and it sounds simplistic, but when you do that, it's amazing how the path is cleared for you, you know, one step at a time out there when you step out in faith. And it's amazing what has occurred for me during this time. It allowed for healing. When I stepped away from those things that was stressing me out and running here and there and wanted to be validated by everybody else, it allowed me time to deal with myself and heal. And it's ongoing. That path is always ongoing. So I will invite you guys to go ahead and step out in faith and let go. Those past things you have to let go of. It is painful, and if you're gonna look back at them fully in bitterness, um that's all you're going to see. Like last sermon I had last year is Lot's wife. When she looked back, everything was about to be destroyed. Whole everything that you remember was about to be destroyed. But she looked back and she turned into a pillar of salt. And that's what will happen to you. If you keep looking back, being mad about it, you're going to be salty. That is just, you're just at a standstill. You're just at a standstill. And your timeline is your timeline. Like I told a friend recently, I'm accomplishing things that at my age people long have accomplished, right? They already on their path, they already doing it, they've been doing it. And I told her, it feels like I'm just jogging to the starting line. And everybody ran 5 or 6 laps already. And I'm just at the starting line. But I have to accept, this is what it is. This is what it is. And nobody is living my life in this way. And nobody has, not everybody has lived what I lived through or experienced what I have experienced to say and to have this thinking that I'm just starting. And and they're not doing it as we are. They don't have our lives. So comparison is a killer. It will stunt you. It'll make you will sit there in shame. You will sit there always wanting with this void. And that is not the life you're really living. You have what is the details. It's the details that make your life that you need to value. You could say, oh, I want this big house. And you mad that you live in an apartment, but you got an apartment. You know what I'm saying? You got an apartment. You got things. You got where you are. Your starting point is a good starting point. Where you're going to get there eventually, but where you are is a good starting part. And if you value your starting part, you will go further. You will have that strength and faith to go further. And don't, and I always say this, do not compare yourself to people online. Do not be jealous. Don't say in your mind, oh, I wish I had my life as together as this person, because I would tell you, I'm not very I don't know. I don't feel like I'm very social media super savvy. You know what I mean? I don't have the great, I'm not wearing a great look. I'm not that's current look. I'm not wearing a waist trainer. I'm not my I don't have my baby hair is not popping. I'm not my social media is not organized with this lovely dull shade of gray or beige. It's all these things, and everybody looks so peaceful and together, and they put together, and they talk a really good talk. They talk a really fucking good talk. Excuse me, I cuss. We're grown. But I would tell you with my past jobs and what it is of dealing with the underbelly, and dealing with crucial things in people's lives. I will tell you when shit hit the fan, where I felt sometimes where my life wasn't as glamorous and I was behind. It felt when the lockdown happened, and this is not a brag, everybody fell down, but I was still standing. You know what I'm saying? And this is not a brag. Everybody that I look to say, oh, they had their lives more together, they had their spirituality on point and everything, they fell down. So do not compare yourself to what's online. That is a great show. It's a form of entertainment. Because we saw those online relationships break up. We saw that these people could not stand their children. We saw that if they wasn't taking pictures at a restaurant or at an event, they were boring as hell. They they were at places. They weren't doing shit. They were at places. So you cannot compare yourselves to these people, because what when that artifice hit, when you dealing with life and death, as we found ourselves dealing with, and a great unknown. How strong are you for that great unknown? And then we had to face personal unknowns in this. So this goes beyond I don't know, the pandemic and everything, which is very real, I'll tell you, from experience and what I'm still hearing. But um there's more unknowns that we will face in the future, and we're scared because we get very used to, very, very, very extremely used to um what we had and what we're doing, the habits we had, so we have to start letting go of that, because it was not feeding us. We had the illusion of a full table, but we're still hungry. And we have to start letting go, because what is before us is the real meal. Okay. And let me see. I have more verses to pull up because I know this is a Christian nation, and we have to really uh, face ourselves. And I looked up different verses. And John 8:32, this is the one thing about facing ourselves. Um, then you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. Okay. When you start facing your truth, not only facing your truth, that the truth is just eating at your gut, but when you start living your truth, you will be set free. Um, what you hold on to, I know this, staying married, to keep working on this marriage for the children or whatever, or to hold on to this job because the market looks like there's no other jobs. And honestly, some people have been presented with this by bosses that, well, you're lucky to have a job. There's a sea of hopelessness out there. You have to sit here with my abuse. And that is not fact. That is not fact until you start looking and open your eyes and start looking. And then as you go on that path of searching for what is good for you, you're going to let go of this illusion of fear that kept you holding on. What kept you holding on is this illusion of fear. And if you are a person of faith, in whatever path you on, that is, fear is not how we run. That's not how we run. And this doesn't mean I don't have fears or phobias and everything, but there's this book that's out there, and I love the title of this book, and I'm just going to say the title of the book is Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. Feel the fear and do it anyway. You scared as hell. Do it anyway. You know this is going to be a step in the right direction for you. Do it anyway. Do it anyway. And what? I have more verses. Oh, let me see. Okay, I'm going to go in this verse. Proverbs 4:24. Put away from the perversiveness of mouth and corrupt lips, put far from thee. I'm applying it here because we will talk ourselves out of and down talk ourselves and saying we don't have, saying we're incapable. We will say, oh, we don't have the money. I don't have the look. I'm too ugly. Oh, my stomach's too big. I cannot do this and that and that. For you to move forward, you need to put away corrupt lips far away from you. And you need to tell those people who try to down what you're doing, and you know you're doing right. When you start stepping out in faith, there are some people that like to wallow. Like, people like to wallow in trauma, and that defines who they are, and they want you to stay in that trauma. But when you decide, hey, I'm going to step forward, they're going to put their mouths on you. They're going to speak things on you. They're going to say, tongues are daggers. They will say things on you that will probably either whip you in submission, or whip you far away, or whip you down. And you have to get away from those people. You have to get far away from these people, because where you're going is not where they're going. And also it goes on, same chapter of Proverbs 25, let thine eyes look upon, and let thine eyelids look straight before thee. 26 go to say, ponder thy path of thy feet, and let thy ways be ordered. 27, turn not to the right hand or to the left, remove thy foot from evil. Get the fuck away from what was holding you back. Get away from it. You would not sit in dangers. You would not purposely, literally sit in a pool of shit. You would not do that. Why would you do that metaphorically? Why would you sit in this pain? Why would you sit in this nothingness? Move forward. Don't look to left or right. Don't compare yourself. Don't look and say, oh, what they doing? What they doing? You know what is put in order for you. And when you do, like, everybody always try to say to in hoodoo, they're gonna do, or even online, they always say, I'm a do unblock road ritual. But you still doing that unblock road ritual? When you gonna start bulldozing your way through? And when you see this path, when you pray and pray and pray about this, make a way, oh Lord, please, I would like a new job. Oh Lord, I would like to get out of here. And you see clear through that this is your road that's temporarily open for you. You better walk through it. It's meant for you. Because when I left that job I had, who knew what chaos was about to happen afterwards? And I walked clear out. I was given away. I prayed and prayed. I did all the things, candle work, everything. And I could feel spirit saying, move. What was I to say, what did I pray for? What did I pray for? You gotta, like, what if this is wrong? Some people say, I don't know about what I was doing, but honestly, it set forth a new path for me, the path that I wanted. So it may not be all, excuse me, it may not be exactly as you dreamed it to be, but on the path of going toward things, you are getting there. So don't perfection. Oh, that's another thing. I don't like it. Like online and everywhere, people expect you to be perfect to do anything. To move forward in anything, they expect perfection. You are like, you're supposed to be what Christ-like or whatever, but this ideal of what's Christ-like. But you're supposed to be this perfect, never fumbled, never went through anything for you to have permission to progress. And that is not true. Like, I see people, and I think it's bull. I see people online dissing Martin Luther King, talking about he slept around and cheated and everything. And I'm like, you're cheating and you ain't do shit. What you doing? You're dissing someone who stepped out in danger, got arrested, went through a lot of things, did some great works and did a lot of things, him and his wife, and you're just gonna keep talking about, well, he cheated. And what? You have people sitting there. I'm not gonna say that. With a wet puss and an empty bag. And they're gonna talk about and they're gonna talk about you. They're gonna talk about you. Come on now. Go sit down somewhere. You can't really pay attention to people. You got to get those poisonous lips away from you. And you got to not talk about yourself in that same manner because, you know, some of us grew up or experienced a lot of verbal abuse and mental abuse and emotional abuse and everything. And they don't have to keep doing it to you. You'll keep doing it to yourself and you'll keep going home to it and you keep living it. You keep living that damage and you don't want to be. You don't want to be that person. And I have more. I pulled cards for today's talk and sermon, whatever you want to call it. I pulled cards for it. And I was like, what should we know? And the card I pulled was two of them. It was the ninth house. The ninth house, this is the house of higher and elevated thought as well as expansion. It covers long distance travel, foreign languages, inspiration, optimism, publication, higher education, spirituality, philosophy, religion, ideals, morals, and ethics. And at the bottom, it says, I know. This is where we're looking at Sagittarius and Jupiter. And this is saying that for what we want in life, we got to expand what we think. We got to step out in faith. That we got to leave the house. You know, you got to leave. We got to step out and try. You got to attempt. You got to do that. And then I pulled a second card and it was Sagittarius. And I'm like, it was like Spirit said, I said what I said. So you're gonna, this season, I don't care what it looked like. It looks scary. It looks like you probably have single digits in the account. Whatever it looks like, it's not all there is. And I know even now things are scary. And even we're still in the pandemic. We're still in this economic changes and everything, but there is opportunity. In chaos, there's always opportunity. And some of us lived with our personal chaos. We need to step out in opportunity. And one of the things I also prescribe for you guys is a mojo bag. And I want it to be in blue, and I want you to wear it around your neck or wear it in your bra because I want it close to your heart and lungs. Because I want you to have it close to you as a reminder to live, breathe it, and set it in motion. When you're dealing, and I think with Jupiter or Sagittarius, it deals with arteries. So this is going throughout your entire body, and also your hips, your thighs. You're going to be in movement. I think that's Sagittarius. Both cards that I mentioned is fire. Fire. The element is fire. So you're going to get a move on because things are going to keep going. And I think what I want you to do with blue is because I want you to heal and move like water, because you're going to have to go with the flow in a way that you can't stop water. You have to really, 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 really put effort into stopping water. If you leave water, you put a water near a rock, it will drip, drip, drip till that rock breaks. So I want you to be like water. Even if it's a drip drip or as a whole tidal wave. I want you to go forth in your life, and I want you to heal. Um, and do what you need to do, and live your goals, live your life fully. And in there, I want you to put in your petition. You're going to write out your goals, and it doesn't have to, I guard against, not that I'm not saying you won't ever get there, but this is your mojo bag for a year's time. You put in your goals for this year. You don't say, "Oh, I'm going to be in a mansion," if you're not even close to it. It doesn't matter, but it's whatever you want to do. I want you to it, really look at your life and put in your goals. Put it in your goals and what you're praying for in your life. Okay. This is a year's time. And as I told you, when you putting in positive, you fold toward yourself, clockwise toward yourself, clockwise toward yourself. Um, in your bag, yes, there's the petition, but whatever spirit pull you to, you know what? For me, I would say put $1 and put a gold coin in there. And maybe something else, whatever you need to put in there. It has to be in an odd number. Whatever you have in your bag has to be in an odd number, so it's not divisible. So what you're setting forth, so you wear this, um, and you hold on to it. You don't shower with it, of course, people. But when you go to places, when you have to have that reminder of what you're doing, what you're setting forth to do, I want you to wear that. I want you to wear it under your clothes, because it's nobody's business what you're doing. Your goals are not always anyone's business. And I must say this on top of this, of your mojo bag. Okay. I must say this. On one side, you're gonna write your petitions. Okay. Um, Now, Revelations is always a tricky one to work with spiritually, and I understand. And Revelations 10 is my favorite book of the Bible, but Revelations tend to scare people, and it's also been used as a scare tactic. So you're going to write your petition, your list of your goals for this year on one side. On the other side, you are gonna put in, what is that? It's Revelations 14 and do 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 Revelations chapter 14, verse 15. But the part I want you to write is the quote of the angel he called into a loud voice to him who was sitting on a cloud. Take your sickle and reap, because the time to reap has come, for the harvest of the earth is ripe. I want you to put that on the other side. And you're going to fold this toward you and have full faith in knowing that you will reap, you will harvest this. The earth is ripe for you. The opportunity is there for you. I want you to reap. I want you to excel. I don't want you just to exist. I want you to thrive. This is not it. We had pandemics prior. We lived through this as human beings prior. And your way is not necessarily looking like everybody else's. Don't look to the right, left. You look at your goals and what you want to do. And believe me, as you go forward, you're going to find people willing to help. Like all of a sudden, out of nowhere, like, oh, you want to do that? want to do that. There are people that want to help. There's As you get away from the negative people in your lives, you're going to want to help. And also, as far as keeping start speaking positivity upon yourself. I want you every morning to go outside if you can and pour water on the ground to thank the ancestors and God every morning. I want you to just set forth and let go. Just let go. There's a lot of fears holding us back and we're holding on to things. Let go. Because I would tell you, uh, I let go and walked. My house was still sustained. I still had food on the table. We still had clothes on our back. Our utilities stayed on. Just keep going. Just keep going. Keep going forward. What they gonna say? What they gonna say? And even on social media, that is a choice. Okay, you could keep running to negative things, or you could do positive things. Your free time should not be work. Okay, your free time should not be work. So if you're going toward negative things on your free time, which is building up that platform and not yours, um, you're working unnecessarily. You're stressing yourself out unnecessarily, and you feed energy to other people some more. You have not refreshed or charged your battery at all. So that's what I have to say. I don't know how long I talked, but and I think I had more verses to give, but I want you to let go. You have to seriously let go. Yes, you're scared. Yes, it's scary, but you have to go out there because I'm telling you, the only thing that's certain in life is death. And and when you have it close to your face, you really figure things out and change. And so I want you to do that. And I know this is an extension of last year. And I'm telling you again, the creator created creators. And you are a creator. According to the Bible, he breathed life into us. There's many creation stories where the gods of the spirit breathe life into us. So we are breathing in the same breath as our creator. So I want you to keep that in mind as you go out there. Um, you can and you will if you let go. That's my talk.
It was
Excellent.
amazing.
So of course, of course. It was such a wonderful discussion. I'm very grateful for I'm very grateful for the wisdom. I'm very grateful for the way that you drew the strings together and the way that you gave us sources that we could look upon ourselves. Thank you for giving us a work that we could use to fortify our bodies and spirits and keep our mind on our goals and our connections to our ancestors and gods. And thanks for making it completely relevant to an entire experience that we're all currently living through. It's phenomenal.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having me on. I was like, oh, I'm like, maybe I'm flopping everywhere, but I kept going. So that's how you're gonna do in life too. Just keep going. It'll land somewhere.
Yes, yes. All right. So let's see. I think that is about it for today. We do have Rebecca Spirit coming up at 3 o'clock for the final presentation for the weekend. So it's been phenomenal so far. Thank you so much for being here and contributing.
Thank you. Thank you. I love you guys. I'm here for y'all every time. Hey, I see your mom. Hey.